It's 5:05 p.m. Your laptop is halfway closed when a Slack notification interrupts. It's your manager, CCing the entire team, dropping a quick sync request for a deliverable not due until next quarter. They call it proactive alignment. You know exactly what it is. Stolen time. You stare at the blinking cursor, suffocated by the unspoken corporate metric that constant availability equals high performance. Every time you accept a random calendar invite, reply to a midnight email, or agree to a last-minute KPI adjustment, you are silently teaching them that your boundaries are highly negotiable. Your time is treated like an open public resource. The exploitation stops right now. We cannot patch the broken corporate infrastructure. Toxic hustle culture, scope creep, and constant micromanagement are hard-coded into the modern workplace ecosystem. You cannot change the system, but you can rewrite your own mental algorithm to survive it. Forget the useless HR wellness seminars. Today, we deploy Stoicism, not as an ancient spiritual philosophy, but as a cold tactical framework for survival and workplace leverage. In this briefing, we will decode the specific defense mechanisms used by minds like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca to establish invisible, impenetrable boundaries. We will weaponize silence, routine, and strategic unavailability to neutralize time thieves and calendar hijackers. Take notes, memorize these protocols. We are going to permanently dismantle their unearned access to your schedule without you ever having to explicitly say the word no. Let's initialize the tactical breakdown for your upcoming corporate work day. The defense protocols begin now. We are going to deconstruct the specific operational hazards in your daily workflow and apply ancient algorithms to neutralize them. The threat, the endless revision loop, and the change of direction. You know, the exact scenario. You deliver the project based precisely on the agreed upon brief. Hours of deep work have been expended. Then, the client or the manager suddenly experiences an unprompted epiphany. They request a complete change of direction, masking it in emails as just a few minor tweaks, or polishing the vision. They expect you to silently absorb the collateral damage to your schedule, because it is supposedly part of the process. They are treating your bandwidth as an infinite, unbilled resource to soothe their own creative indecision. Epictetus stated, "If someone succeeded in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." In the context of our labor, if someone successfully exploits your time with endless, out-of-scope revisions, your lack of strict parameters is complicit in that exploitation. Deploy the protocol of friction. You do not argue against the revision. You do not defend your original work with emotional paragraphs. You agree to their request, but you immediately attach a mechanical logistical cost to it. Reply with a flat, emotionless template. Understood? This change of direction falls outside the initial scope alignment. Implementing this will shift our final delivery date by 72 hours and will require a revised project scope for the additional bandwidth. Please confirm if you would like me to pause current tasks and proceed under this new timeline. Corporate players and indecisive clients operate exclusively on the path of least resistance. When your time is free and easily accessible, they will consume it infinitely by introducing administrative friction, a timeline delay, a scope adjustment, a hard choice. You force them to calculate the actual ROI of their random epiphany. You're not saying no, which triggers defensive authority. You're saying yes, conditionally, which triggers administrative panic. When faced with the friction of a delayed KPI or an adjusted contract, their crucial change of direction suddenly becomes completely unnecessary. You protect your deep work blocks, and they retreat under the weight of their own logistics. The threat, the calendar hijacker. This is the mid-level manager, or cross-functional colleague, who sends blank calendar invites titled Quick Sync, Brainstorming, or Touchpoint. There's no agenda, no stated objective, and no pre-reading material. It is a scheduled black hole. They use meetings not to make decisions, but to simulate productivity, dragging you into a sterile conference room or a meaningless Zoom call, simply to think out loud on your time. Seneca wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy, the pre-emptive blockade. Never accept a naked calendar invite. Treat your schedule like highly classified real estate. When the invite appears, leave it as tentative. Immediately send a direct message. I see the invite for a sync. To ensure I come fully prepared and we maximize this block, could you send over the agenda and the specific output we need to achieve by the end of the call? If it's just a status update, I can drop my notes in the Slack channel to save you the 30 minutes. The calendar hijacker relies on social compliance. They expect you to blindly accept because declining feels aggressive in a corporate setting. By demanding an agenda, you are executing a flawless defensive parry. You frame your resistance as hyper-professionalism. If they are forced to actually write down what the meeting is about, they often realize the meeting is pointless. You force them to do the preliminary work before they are allowed to claim a fraction of your day. Most of the time, they will cancel the meeting and send an email instead. You win your time back without firing a single shot. The threat, the manufactured emergency. It is 10:30 p.m. on a Friday. The fluorescent lights of the office are long behind you, but your phone screen illuminates the dark room. It is an email from your boss. The subject line is entirely capitalized. Urgent. Need data for Monday. It is a task that could have been assigned on Wednesday, but due to their own poor time management, their lack of planning has suddenly been categorized as your emergency. Marcus Aurelius commanded, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You do not control your manager's chaotic workflow, but you have absolute power over your accessibility. The digital air gap. Do not reply. Do not open the email to trigger a raid receipt. You initiate absolute, unapologetic radio silence until your contracted hours resume. On Monday morning at 9 a.m., you reply with detached professionalism, 'Good morning. Seeing this now as I was offline for the weekend. I will begin pulling this data and have it to you by noon.' Availability is a trainable behavior. Every time you answer a midnight email, you are rewarding their incompetence. You are training the system that your personal life is merely a waiting room for corporate commands. The digital air gap breaks this conditioning. By replying on Monday morning without apologies or excuses, never say, 'Sorry I missed this,' you establish an invisible electric fence around your personal time. The panic they felt over the weekend was theirs to endure, not yours to resolve. Eventually, the system learns that pinging you outside of hours yields 0 ROI, and they will stop trying. Silence is the most terrifying weapon in the corporate arsenal because it cannot be argued with. The threat, the performance punishment. You are competent. You finish your deliverables ahead of the deadline. Your QA is flawless, and you navigate office politics smoothly. The reward for your high efficiency? More work. The manager notices your extra capacity and starts offloading the responsibilities of your underperforming colleagues onto your desk. You are being penalized for your own excellence, slowly drowning in tasks outside your job description, because you are the reliable one. Seneca warned, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you allow your energy to be diluted across every crisis and every colleague's dropped ball, you destroy your ability to execute your primary high-impact tasks, the priority interrogation. When the manager attempts to dump the extra project on your desk, you do not refuse, but you force a system override. Pull up your current task list. Say, I can take on this new initiative. However, my bandwidth is currently at capacity with Project A and KPIB. Which of these two existing projects would you like me to prioritize or pause so I can execute this new task to standard? Managers love to delegate downwards until the structure breaks. They operate under the delusion that your capacity is infinite. By presenting your workload as a zero-sum game, you shatter that delusion with cold mathematics. You are not refusing the work. You are demanding executive direction. You force the manager to make the hard choice and take responsibility for delaying an existing project. In most cases, the manager will not want to delay their own KPIs, so they will suddenly decide to give the extra work to someone else. You trap them in their own operational logic. The threat, the asynchronous ambush. You are in a flow state. Your noise-canceling headphones are on, and you are finally making headway on a complex, high-stakes deliverable. Suddenly, a colleague walks over, taps you on the shoulder, or sends 3 consecutive Slack messages. Hey, you there? Got a quick question. They treat your focus as an expendable commodity, assuming that their momentary confusion is more important than your deep work. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions." The asynchronous wall. Turn off all desktop notifications. Close the communication applications entirely. When you finally check your messages, 2 hours later, reply uniformly, "Hey, was deep in a focus block. What do you need?" If they attempt a physical ambush at your desk, do not break eye contact with your screen immediately. Hold up one finger, finish your sentence, slowly turn and say, "I am in the middle of a build. Is this critical, or can it wait until my 2 p.m. window?" The modern office is designed for synchronous distraction. The asynchronous ambush thrives on instant gratification. By artificially delaying your response time, you strip them of that gratification. When you force them to wait 2 hours for a response to a quick question, they usually figure out the answer themselves, or ask someone more accessible. You are systematically training your colleagues that you are a fortress, not a convenience store. You command respect by demonstrating that your attention is expensive and highly guarded. These defense mechanisms are not just about saving 30 minutes on your calendar. They are about reclaiming your psychological autonomy. The corporate machine is intricately designed to blur the line between your professional output and your personal worth. It wants you to believe that a missed KPI, a negative performance review, or an ignored midnight email is a reflection of your character. It is not. At the end of the day, your quarterly targets, your deliverables, and your performance metrics are just data points on a spreadsheet. They are arbitrary numbers generated by a system that will seamlessly replace you within a week if you burn out. Your employment is a strict financial transaction. You trade specific skills and allocated time for capital. It is what you do, not who you are. Initiate the psychological disconnect. Sever your emotional attachment to their validation. Execute just one of these protocols in your morning sync tomorrow. Watch the power dynamic instantly shift back to your control. If these tactical maneuvers provided the leverage you need to survive the corporate grid, leave a trace in the database below by typing Stoic Professional. Guard your bandwidth, maintain your rational perimeter, and never surrender your time for unearned validation. We will reconvene for your next operational briefing. System logging out.